taking all the fun away.
Oh, no. Well, actually, that's not true, because we know that they're having an extraordinarily large amount of fun. So it depends on where the fun is supposed to go as far as the goal. As GENG, not going to change anything when it comes to the bans. This time around, Kwangdong Freaks, same situation, as they will ban Yuumi this time. They just don't want to have to bring out all of the dark technology that GENG has available.
Talia's still going to be banned away from Fate here. It has been one of his more successful picks, 4-3 this season.
Yep.
They are trying to break 50%, you know, at 6-8 at the moment, but
Wukong back to first pick priority. Very interesting. I feel like we're back to the first patch of the season.
I think that people just have figured out that his ultimate is still insanely broken and can be used aggressively, can be used to peel. And we're seeing much less dives bottom side, and I think part of the reason why he dropped, Viego dropped because of patches and stuff like that, but Wukong dropped, I think, because he wasn't good at all-inning in 3v3's bottom side that we're no longer really seeing as much these last 2 weeks of play on 12-13. Gnar going to be picked up here for Doran, so Keen will once again probably default to the Gwyn in this matchup where he has not had control early. Keen has looked much better on the Gnar side of this draft. As Ruler, the only person who's winning with this champion right now, says, I might just pick it blind.
Yeah, which is crazy, because last time, the last ban for Kwangdong Freaks was Draven. And Draven is a champion that does pretty well into both Zeri and Lucian, in theory. And Teddy has historically been a bit of a Draven player. He likes to pick it up every now and again, as Sivir is going to be the decision here. However, because she is flavor of the month into the Zeri these days, oh no, please do it. Please do it, Teddy. Please do it, Teddy.
Now,
I want to know what he's saying with his hands up there.
It's like, are you serious? You want me to play against Ruler with this? You're trying to make me look like a fool if I fail? Now, Sivir has been one of the common answers, has a very high win rate, 66.7, 6-3 of the 9 picks, and it has looked very good in the right player's hands, but it has also been very weak when she falls behind in matchups like this. Like, those 3 losses were hard losses, you know, and we'll be picking up the Nautilus here to help lock down the Zeri, but we'll see if Peanut's willing to play the Trundle here, because I think that's possibly the angle right now if you want to make sure you control bottom side. They want to make sure they can pick the Alistar first, though.
I like it. So that gives GENG a heck of a lot of CC around their Zeri, which is kind of the thing, like the checklist to a Zeri comp. It's like, do you have enough CC standing around the Zeri in order to allow her to Zeri? And I guess in this case, they kind of do. Especially with Headbutt Pulverize being so good against Sivir's Spell Shield that we've been talking about all week.
I wonder what Keen will end up with here, because they prioritize the Nautilus, which I think was probably a good move, especially considering Keen's Gwyn hasn't looked great into the Gnar. Now he can't play it. And I think they're probably going to feel happy to ban either the Sejuani or the Ornn away. Remember, Trundle, of course, still available here for GENG unless Kwangdong ban it. So if they do take one of those tanks, GENG could be like, all right, well, we'll lock in the Trundle for a jungle, and we have a lot of power around the bottom 2v2, plus the subjugate value is going to be quite high.
Yeah. I wonder... No, I don't think it is a Morgana jungle angle once again. I was just thinking about having Ruler with a black shield and then being unable to be CC'd by Nautilus. Seems kind of valuable. As 1 second to go, and the Lissandra will be banned away here. Not giving Fate all of that extra utility and roaming power.
Let's see if this ends up being the Trundle ban. Feels so versatile in GENG's comp here for Kwangdong Freaks to take away.
Yep.
Ahri also open here, and yeah, Sivir has Spell Shield, but Wukong wants to run at you. Nautilus wants to get into range. Ahri's so strong, I think, in GENG's composition here. Take away the Vi.
All right. Sort of, it feels like Vi is kind of the third rung of the jungle tier list at the moment.
There's
Ahri that you're talking about, yeah.
I think they're just going to Ahri Trundle. Like, Ahri, are you going to pick a tank? Okay, Trundle. Are you not going to pick a tank? Probably still Trundle. Also very good here.
Yeah, or Viego.
Yeah,
they
Viego
could just
also
go back
was...
to like looking at that mid 2v2 and playing around that, and then allowing Ruler to just organically become Zeri later in the game.
LeBlanc, yeah, it's going to be the answer. This is the Fate angle. He likes to play this one into the Ahri. He's played it once this season. He did not win, but it is arguably his most famous champion, next to his Twisted Fate, of course. And it's a tough one. You know, you're playing a really high skill matchup. I much prefer this in this meta, but it's also going to be, you know, it's a tall order to play this one against Chovy as well. You're also just trying to run at this team once again with the Sivir speed ups. And what's that top side pick going to be? Is it the Ornn that gives you a lot of team fight power early?
Makes it very hard to pick on, though, with the Trundle still available.
That's what I'm most worried about. Or is it Sejuani, who's like arguably worse? Now this is middle ground here.
On the Hunt Kennen is a lot of backline access. Kinda cool. All right, King going back to one of his old favorites here. And of course, Kennen versus Gnar is a very old matchup and was one that Kennen used to win. And not sure whether it still does, but it used to be pretty good for Kennen.
Now Peanut is like, well, we'll just kill the Kennen. We'll pick Nocturne, and we're going to change our focus here. Nope, still looking for the Viego. Would love the Nocturne here, but I think both are very strong. Zeri plus Viego plus Ahri in a game where you are ahead is amazing, because you have pick potential with Ahri. Viego gets resets. Zeri gets everybody's health bars low, and then Viego gets a kill, gets a reset. Zeri is untouchable. Viego can peel, Gnar can peel. The Kennen here, I think, is a great option, obviously, because of the Trundle potential pick that Gen.G had. We've only seen it played once, and it was from Nongshim. It was Kana. I remember the game well, and unfortunately, there just was not enough coordination to pull the pick off. I think for Kwangdong Freaks here with the on the hunt value, Realm Warp that could be used somewhat defensively, and this Wukong, there's a lot of wombo combo and a lot of CC against this Zeri, so the setups in these fights are going to be difficult. But I gotta say, Atlas, with Chovy on Ahri, we just always have to trust. He is 6-0 on the champion. He's played it more than anybody else. He's undefeated. He's finding success on when no one else is. And I just think that if it's up to Chovy to do it, that's not a good win condition for the enemy team. You know, not thinking like, well, I guess Chovy's gonna have a lot of pressure on this Ahri. He'll have to succeed. Like, well, when has he not?
Yeah, well, never. He's 12-0 of all time on the Ahri pick, and like you say, 6-0 this season. So definitely, you know, reliable. We're putting a 1 in the reliable column, 100%. Especially when Peanut and Chovy have been playing very well together this season, and now it's the classic Viego Ahri lane that we saw really fly into popularity earlier on in the season is something that still works. As that was aggressive, as I believe he's going to the army tomorrow.
They're returning, I think he's on leave right now. So
heading
and
back.
He says he has no regrets. I guess that means he's a Kwangdong fan. He's like, still, not regretting it yet. Still here to support. Hey, in this second game, still some win opportunities here. Really strong team fighting comp for the Kwangdong Freaks. See if they can pull it off.
Yep, let's see whether we can do it as we hop onto the Rift here for game number 2. Very interesting that Teddy has gone for Warden Sivir, which is probably one of my least favorite Sivir skins. There are so many amazing options.
I mean, the Pack Sivir is the meta here in the LCK.
I mean, Pack Sivir is just, I think, in my opinion, the best skin in League of Legends. Because it's Tron, and Tron's cool, guys. All right? But, you know, it might be
Still waiting for that third Tron movie.
Yeah, me too.
One day. One day, please!
No, they actually can't release it because Daft Punk broke up, and the only reason Tron Legacy was a good movie was because Daft Punk did the soundtrack.
I thought Jeff Bridges did a good job.
Jeff Bridges did do a great job. There's a Tobuscus video about the trailer of Tron Legacy. Very, very good.
I think that Tron Legacy was so good for its time, and I think still even today the computer graphics parts of it hold up pretty well. Some other parts not as great, but Jeff Bridges, you know, can't go wrong.
You certainly can't.
With Ruler, can't go wrong either. He's playing Zeri. So, you want to bring it back to League of Legends for a little bit?
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
This comp may be saved by the fact that Gen.G is the best team in the LCK.
Well, their last comp definitely was. They might be able to do it again.
I also don't think this comp needs saving. I think it's a really good comp. The Ari Viego parts of it, I think if we were looking at an East Side team, we'd be very concerned about the coordination that's required to pull this off. But we are not concerned, as you see the win rates across the board here. Doran has played 12 games in NAR. He's knocking on Dudu's door here. He's like, yeah, I can play this one a lot. He's not quite up at the, like, 18 mark that I believe Dudu is this season, but he's getting up there.
Yep.
And, yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of Kennen, but it is extremely strong when it has the ability to be sped up. And the Slicing Maelstrom is extremely strong against the Ari, extremely strong against the Zeri. So if played correctly, you're Kwangdong Freaks, and if they don't fall too far behind in the macro game where GENG finds a lot of their success this season, I think this comp is quite formidable.
It is. Certainly is something that could work. If Kennen falls behind, though, he kind of just does nothing at all. So can be a difficulty. His Peanut is going to be discovered here by LM. Doesn't have a lot of his cooldowns, but Peanut just takes the rocks that he was working on before and is going to be fine.
Yeah, level 3 Kennen is going to be tough to actually help out here if LM gets collapsed on, but Doran trying to hold the wave, doesn't want to lose CS, so it's just kind of an awkward fight to take here for Peanut. He wants Doran to help him so badly, but Doran's like, man, I'm going to lose CS now. You could have committed earlier. Ah!
Oh, still a 2 versus 1. Nice little Q comes through there for Keen. Very difficult to actually dive this. Yeah, exactly. Chovy back in base now, so can teleport if he would like to. Fate shows, and that means that the teleport will be invested. And now Kwangdong Freaks looking to back away. Looks like Doran might be out of the woods for now, but it was looking dicey there for a moment.
Yeah, it did feel like this was a very slow setup here for Doran and Peanut, and the coordination between the two of them because of that wave crashing through was not the cleanest. Chovy will lose his teleport for this defensively. Fate will, of course, also expend his to return to lane after that back. Doesn't have Roll Morph just yet, so it ends up being, you know, fine for both sides here, neither side getting a huge advantage. But I think what Doran and Peanut wanted to accomplish, they couldn't actually pull off because of that wave, and they were a little bit slow to actually commit one way or the other. So teleport was forced, Rise comes up. Yeah. As the dust settles, you know, it's okay for both sides, but I do think that could have been a little bit cleaner from top side of GENG.
Yeah, I mean, they had to play defensively. I think the fact that Doran didn't get dove is probably good. As Peanut going to look to return the favor here to LM. Chovy roaming on over, does get vision available, and that should mean that LM can't actually come and defend, although Fate will make his way in. Chovy looks to connect the charm. Orb Deception flies through. Lehens gets here first before Hoyt. 2v2 continuing as the flash over the charm was fantastic. Lehens just flash pulverized. They pick up the first blood onto Fate. Just amazing. Both of these supports with the right ideas. Extendo Beam's going to slow down Hoyt and add insult to injury. Rule is also going to get a kill.
Do not skill check this team. Do not do it. They will outdo you as the flash pulverize from Lehens was amazing. Like you said, Hoyt has the right idea with his play forward as well, but Alistair reacts perfectly. Lehens gets the knockups there, and suddenly 2 stacks for Chovy, 2 assists, and this is all about Peanut coming over here and just setting this up. As the wave is, you know, reset here in mid, LM is super low health, and Lehens, he's like, I'm here first, I'm up a level. Hoyt makes the really nice flash play here for the charm. Not important, it's the knockup that actually really ends up winning this one out. LM just barely escapes, but Hoyt won't be so lucky without his flash anymore.
Yeah, and you see Chovy like immediately leaves. Peanut as well throws a Q. They want that kill to go over to Ruler. They deliver it to him, and Lehens really not looking that rusty on the Alistair. Of course, it's his 4th most played champion of all time. He's very, very good.
And everybody's getting used to it again because of the Sivir coming back to the meta. So for those wondering, because of the way that Sivir's spell shield works, Alistair is very difficult to play around. In lane, not the biggest deal when you're running a Zeri Alistair, but in even team fights can be an issue.
Well, the flash hook not going to land. Of course, it was a Hex Flash, so Hoyt not going to get too punished, but the Spirit Rush did have to be used.
Yeah, so still a significant win here. Taking that one away from the Ari. It's going to remove a lot of her power. As Rift Herald is spawning in a minute and 5 seconds. And already GENG, significant gold lead here across these lanes with those 2 kills they picked up.
Yep.
And like, it's the Zeri lane that is 10 CS ahead. In fact, this game, it is the Zeri who picks up one of those 2 kills. It's very concerning for these upcoming fights here, as they don't have enough prio to start Drake just yet. And maybe Kwangdong Freak's best case scenario here, they end up trading this early objective.
Yeah, it could be one of those situations. LM, I don't believe, is going to get spotted, as Peanut's just going to be distracted by the shellfish. We'll be able to remove that one.
Peanut is just out-farming him so hard. He's had so much control over the map.
Yeah.
Taking away some of the farm as well with his Qs. He's up a whole level right now. LM just hit 5. Peanut has his Heartbreaker online with all that extra farm. So this first Rift Herald fight again, Kwangdong, think wisely before you go into this one. I don't want another game decided by this.
Well, Keen is playing this lane very well. As you can see, he's ahead by a bit of farm. Does have his cull ticking down as well. Does have, of course, the Slicing Maelstrom now available, as he has hit level 7. Peanut going to come over, start off this rebuff, and Rift Herald has now spawned.
And this is a much better team fighting comp for Kwangdong Freaks this time around, for early Herald, but they don't have prio. They don't have fast setup on this. Toby doesn't have his teleport just yet. We'll have to walk back over, but notice that GENG are already grouped up here. Ruler is off vision, so they don't know whether he is going over there or if he's going to be coming back to lane to deny plate. So the decision that Teddy has to make right now is a tough one. Are we going to force this fight, try to use our comp early Sivir power against this area before she's truly online, or do we go bottom side? And the fact that Ruler isn't showing right now is so frustrating for Kwangdong Freaks, because he could just be running down there to get plates. GENG could delay this objective, but they're going to hard commit.
Yeah, that's a nah, that's a wallop. And Doran's going to throw rocks at Keen here as well. Lehens and Peanut going to rotate over. Doran's done most of the work already, and Peanut will just come in and easily pick up the kill. The dive's beautiful. So now Peanut's going to use that lightning rush to try and get himself to safety. Fate sidesteps the boomerang. They're not out of the woods just yet, although the minion wave is going to be here. Chovy turns up as well. Heist successful, as GENG should be able to move on down, collect themselves the Rift Herald with the man advantage.
Ruler is just farming mid. Question mark ping goes down before he is showing there, but he does appear. Chovy going to teleport bottom side, so no farm missed here for GENG. That teleport advantage Chovy holds, and Rift Herald, they don't need it to get more advantages here. They already dove the cannon. They were successful. They forced the cannon to now go side lane against an Ahri bottom side, where he's going to lose a few of these minions, because once again, GENG's macro, they're just ahead. They are the first ones to make the calls. They are not hesitating. They are not waiting. What's the biggest tool for Kwangdong Freaks in this Rift Herald fight? Slicing Maelstrom. What did they do? They dove the cannon, forced his Slicing Maelstrom out, and now they don't need to worry about the Rift Herald. They're like, yeah, okay, we're just going to get value elsewhere. And yeah, Kwangdong will actually get this one, but the cost of so much map control.
Yeah, I actually think it might have been a little bit of a mistake for GENG not to prioritize that one, but getting down here towards the bottom side and potentially diving Keen again, that happens, then perhaps it is massively worth it, as Keen's either going to get zoned or dove. So this is a plate gank to get now the equivalent amount of plates as the Rift Herald. Now, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think that definitely worth.
Doran has teleport, so he can, if there was a heavy commitment topside with the Herald, he could just teleport and be there to answer. Kwangdong Freaks just kind of caught awkwardly here in this weird macro moment where they're like, should we try to collapse on Chovy, punish him, then drop the Herald down bottom side? We don't have prio mid. Top side, we have no presence. Ryze needs to try to get back to the mid lane. Oh, wait, no. What do we want? Sivir the farm there. Like, Kwangdong are so slow in these moments. And this is something we've been criticizing them since spring season for, is weak macro play in game states that are not favorable for them. They sometimes just freeze up. They don't know what decisions to make. And I think GENG in this game are really just highlighting why they are the best early game team in the LCK. They're the best at a lot of things, but the early game at this stage, phenomenal from them. 20 CS advantage, 20 creep score advantage here for Peanut in the jungle, as this is the dive that starts it all off. Great Gnar ultimate here into the wall. Of course, the wall follows up, and Keen is forced to ult, and it's not enough to save it.
Nope, because they've got everyone up here towards the top side. The entire farm made it up as the monkey and the cow get together and get the work done. But it was mainly just Doran by himself that did a lot of it. LM's going to find Lehens. Lehens going to get bonked on the head, but then isn't going to be too worried. Chovy might just take a turret.
Yeah, and the Zeri is getting free farm mid. She's not being the one giving these plates, but she's getting CS. So Genji have just decided, like, we're going to maximize the value of the Rift in terms of money. Like, they could actually be like a tycoon company with, like, how they're like, all right, how much can we exploit Summoner's Rift to make sure everyone gets the most money possible here?
How do you win this macro trade without Herald so hard?
Yeah.
Are they going to get a kill as well? What is going on?
Score should be on the front page. He should be on the front cover of The Economist at this point.
No, absolutely.
They're just getting so much money. Like, Chovy's like, all right, I'll get plates.
Is this an inner turret?
I'll get plates. No one can punish.
Oh my god, the headbutt is going to interrupt the teleport as well. Yeah, so...
Chovy,
I mean, even if he did teleport, maybe he died.
Yeah, probably. Chovy gets plates bottom side because he is the safest champion to retreat. Zeri can't do this bottom side by herself because if she's dove, she'll die. She has cleanse, or rather not cleanse, ghost and flash. Is a very slippery champion, but still high risk. Whereas Chovy's just like, all right, you can take my mid farm. Now, Chovy on Hollow Life, he would say absolutely not. But in this case, it's like, I'll get the plates. You get the mid farm for free. Unfortunately for them, the Sivir just isn't going to be able to make an impact because we're not going to team fight. We're just going to out macro. Then on the top side, they have the control there as well. Stop that teleport. And Genji are just winning non-fights in 3 lanes.
Yeah. Do you know what this looks like? It looks like the Kwangdong coaching staff are like, you did 0 damage to turrets, guys. Do whatever you can to get damage onto turrets. And so they try to make the trade because then at least they're doing some damage.
There it is.
Oh, goodness me.
He did 63.82.
I mean, theoretically, Ellen should have the Rift Herald damage alongside his name, as Peanut's going to find Fate. Oh my goodness, that does not look like jungle versus mid lane as he gets the flash in trade for his ult. Chovy's going to be out of Spirit Rush, depth charge, range. Certainly good, but yeah, still going to be able to get himself over the wall.
He has an item advantage, and it's Merc Treads here for Fate, so he just won't be able to compete there if the Heartbreaker is good, which it was. Forces the flash. And, you know, with Conqueror there in the longer fight, no Everfrost or anything like that, this is not that meta. You are going to die, actually, to Peanut, who is extremely far ahead.
Yeah.
It is a tough look right now to find the win conditions here for Kwangdong Freaks.
I actually think that Chovy and Peanut, if they continue to play as well as they are now, I think that they might be able to stand up to Inspired and JoJo.
It's his first day, Atlas! All right, like, let the man have some pride for his home region. He'll let that go in time, okay? We all started somewhere. We all were like, no, I think my region's okay. Like, we're doing really well. Like, Ken does not have his best split, okay?
Yeah. I just really want Kobe to address that on the broadcast afterwards.
Hey, I mean, look, those players were at MSI. You know, Genji was not.
Hey, that's a very good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah,
so, maybe that's checkmate. Maybe that's checkmate. Genji now 6,000 gold in the lead at 15 minutes. We do have a minute away from the Hextech Drake. It's not going to be a Cloud Soul, so a bit sad about that. Hopefully it's not an Ocean as well, because that's also not too fun. Fate's going to rotate down. Back did come through here. We're coming off a bit of a reset on Genji's side, and bounties are up, guys. Yeah, this game around, Kwangdong Freaks at least got a Herald charge into a turret, so that meant that two plates went down. They traded that for an outer and an inner in the bottom lane, and a whole bunch of plates in the mid lane. And now Ruler and Teddy are fighting in the mid, but not going to find too much more as Chovy looks for the Everfrost, does find the charm there, and gets the return on the Orb of Deception. Ellen comes in, though, and Chovy's going to have to use that Spirit Rush defensively. Peanut picks up the kill, can't transform in time, though. As now, Chovy is going to throw out a charm and looks to try and keep himself alive, but does not do so. Well, looks to try and execute himself without giving the kill to Sivir. That's going to fail. Ruler will take the outer turret in mid. Now Lehens is going to find Teddy.
Ruler had the most interesting Zeri moment of all time, where he just kills a turret, and he's like, yeah, so actually I got a ton of money and finished a call. I didn't win a team fight. I didn't get that kill early, but you guys doing all that stuff topside, and I'm just actually going to farm and then zip over the wall. And second Rift Herald here. I don't think we can take this just yet, Genji. I think we will have to wait for some reinforcements. Chovy does not have teleport out. He is holding the cleanse at the moment. I think they could slow this one down and still look for the fight, but we'll have to wait for the group up first.
Indeed, Peanut has made his way over. No Heartbreaker available. Chovy also waiting on his Spirit Rush. He is going to get here in relative time. So, Doran with a great Narbar, and if Kwangdong Freaks stay grouped up like this, it is a very dangerous time. Flash available for the Gnar, and that's why you see Kwangdong backing away. They can't fight against the huge Gnar bar that Doran has built up, and they are just going to back away, of course recognizing the huge gold lead as well. As Chovy's just walking on forward, does have the ultimate back up now. So they are just going to have to give that one up. So first Rift Herald of the game here for GENG. They do collect that one for themselves, and we'll see where it does actually get parked.
So, you know, of the things I predicted to happen today, you know, I thought, okay, I predicted Sandbox to beat that one kid. Didn't think it was going to be that one-sided, but, you know, I was pretty spot on with that. I thought, okay, GENG versus Kwangdong has a pretty good chance to be the fastest series of the week, potentially going into week 8 here. What I did not predict of all the things that we could have known was that GENG would have a more one-sided game 2 after what we watched in game 1. Now,
it turns out if you don't pick Yasuo Sejuani, things go better for you, Wolf. I don't know.
Now, Kwangdong have gotten some bounty gold. They have killed 2 champions, and the Sivir has missed her power spike window. Unfortunately, she is now out-itemized by the enemy Zeri, but we're still only 2 Drakes up. GENG don't have a soul point to threaten or anything like that. Baron hasn't spawned yet. No inhibitors are down. So what I'm saying is there is still a chance. Much like there is still a chance for Nongshim to qualify for playoffs and for Kwangdong Freaks to qualify for playoffs. There's still a chance, Atlas. That is what I'm telling you.
That's actually what GENG here are fighting for. They're fighting for Nongshim's ability to still have a 0.001% chance of making it into the playoffs. If Kwangdong Freaks were to win this game, Nongshim would be out of the running.
Yeah.
They're basically out of the running already. However, still is definitely a thing worth talking about.
I just was going to say, like, the one way I see this going well for Kwangdong, and by well I mean is, like, they get a few more kills and you lose the game, but is fights like this that GENG force, but then also there's a Slicing Maelstrom there. Imagine a Slicing Maelstrom on top of all of this, but they're so behind the curve of the macro that, you know, unfortunately Kennen is, like, here after it's already over. You see that on the minimap. Keen trying to rotate his way back in. But, you know, Slicing Maelstrom value, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen Sivir get to run anyone. They've been on the defense, but maybe there's just one team fight where GENG overextend. Ooh. You know, I'm trying to set the stage for the extreme unlikely scenario, but, you know, you always expect it's over until it's not.
That's true. It is only over when the Nexus explodes.
GENG never thought it could happen to them, but, you know, there's that small chance.
I mean, it's still likely that it can't happen to them. However, you're exactly right. Yeah. There is always a chance. Fate and LM now looking to try and defend this one. Extendo Beam going to do a bit of damage there to the Rise. LM's going to get stunned up for a moment, but GENG just trying to find any siege opportunities that they can with a relatively low range composition. Always a difficulty. As, yes, the bounties are well and truly here. At least a top lane outer turret was taken by Kwangdong.
Yeah, is this going to make a record for the longest appearing bounties in a professional game in the LCK? Like,
whoa, we even tracking that stat?
I don't know. Probably not. I just made that stat up. It might not be trackable. We usually don't see bounties stay up this long in pro games because teams will claim some of them, and the gold lead is not this massive at this stage. Where, like, the normal gold lead you have is one of the individual gold leads that one of the players at GENG has, like, at this stage. Like, that's pretty average. Just pick one of those. Now, you add all of those up, and we're about to crest 10,000 gold at 20 minutes in. And it's a lower kill score game than the last one.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, like I said before, a much more dominant lead for GENG in this one.
And they are just not allowing Kwangdong Freaks to play the game, which is why it has slowed down. It is now the suffocation process that is beginning. This means that Peanut is taking away all of the jungle camps from LM, and GENG will just keep all of the pressure up. Shirley going to come on forward as Peanut is going to break. Oh, goodness me. That's a lot of damage with the Extendo Beam. Ruler has just an extra BF sword. Seems to have made a bit of a difference here. As Teddy is going to spell shield it. Ruler now has to flash to get out of the way of LM. He has one more opportunity to use this Cyclone as Realm Warp's going to come through. Ruler is just going to walk to the left. That will get him out of there. Keen's dead. And now the rest of GENG can turn their eyes towards the Kwangdong Freaks team. 2 stunned into the wall. LM trying to escape. Fate's dead though. Hoyt's going to go down as well. And Ruler is still alive. How is he doing this? He just baited them all in. Look at that. Terrified Yumi.
He just didn't even do any damage either. Like, he just flashed and ghosts away. It was the most hilarious
He was the bright,
part.
shiny object that they were all trying to get onto.
The most hilarious part of this was the Nautilus ult, which he was just outpacing.
Yeah.
He's like dashing away, then he's ghosting, has flash, and he's just like, I'm Zeri, I'm speeding up. And the Nautilus ult took like, I don't know, 6 or 7 seconds it felt like to hit Ruler in this fight. And so he gets ulted, look at the Nautilus ult. It's like,
Dum, 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 dum.
Ruler's like gonna be back in the Nexus before it hits him. And then yeah, as you say, they all chase deep to try to catch a Zeri. Sadly, they did not succeed. And Doran's over here, pushing him into the wall. Heartbreaker is a real heartbreaker here for Fate and crew as they are just pushed out of the game. Teddy is like, I want to get out of here. No, blast clone back towards Ruler, who gives the, you know, O underscore O face
he's
with
like,
the Yumi.
Yeah. He's like, Trophy, you trying to get me killed, man? You trying to get me killed? Is that what's happening? He wants back-to-back POGs, wants to get 800 points so he can threaten Ruler's 1,000.
I think this one is a nut angle, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he may have just played that early game well enough for that to be absolutely true. Has himself the Sunfire K build as well. It's like the Yone special that Chovy came up with.
13,000 gold. I'm just trying to quantify this in my brain.
I mean, it's the Ruler ending this time around as well, Wolf. He has a full Infinity Edge over Teddy. Not that that really needs to be a thing we're talking about. I mean, it's 13,000 gold the lead, like you were saying.
Yeah, just really, it's really unfortunate because Kwangdong are fighting for the chance to go to playoffs, and going to playoffs means eventually you'll fight a team like GENG.
Well, there's Hepapov, and immediately the bottom lane just gets obliterated. Look at that. Ruler putting his Infinity Edge to good use. The Extendo Beam's not going to connect, so no pentakill this time around. As Keen and Fate, the last two remaining. Ruler is going to get stunned. Will he actually die? The answer's no. Doran's going to be able to protect him there, and he's going to continue on as well as Fate. Oh, he just gets thrown back, and Ruler's going to claim that kill as well. This game's over, ladies and gentlemen. GENG, or the Harlem Globetrotters, whatever you want to call them, they are going to pick up the 2-0 over the Kwangdong Freaks here, and they still look like the best team here in the LCK.
Yeah, there used to be an old StarCraft 1 show called BattleNet Attack where the pro gamers would just match up against random fans online and just